Good evening, everybody. I am not in Missouri. I have actually been out of state for the last week on a much needed rest and relaxation. Well, let me adjust my computer volume here. So, I'm actually having to do a rather interesting setup uh, because I'm not at home, so I don't have my normal gear. So what I'm actually doing is I have my laptop with me, which has a webcam, but no microphone. So I'm streaming on my phone, and I've actually got the computer set up so I can see the chat messages and stuff. So if you're kind of looking, what's he looking at? When I'm looking this way, it's the computer, so I can see what on earth you're telling me, and that way I don't get too confused. I have been away from home for the last week, not because we have any problems or issues at home, but just on a very much needed week of rest, sleep, doing a bunch of nothing, relaxing, and enjoying it. I am in a place where there is a lot to do, and there has been temptation at times. Come on, let's go do this. And I resisted it. So I have been very good about that. My wife will be proud. I would like to think. So good evening, Kathy and Michael. Good to have you with me. And I am kind of rambling for a couple minutes here just to see if other people join in because it was kind of an unscheduled deal. And I was looking at my calendar and I realized I hadn't done my live stream for September and realized there really wasn't any September left. Oops. So, here we are. I do not have any of my mail with me, so unfortunately, I can't do my normal mail call. So I will try to catch that later. So, the road has windows. Hey, if you're in your car, don't you have windows in your car, Michael? so, uh, but we have. It has been a good week. It's been a relaxing week. I know there's been a lot of different news items that have come out of the theme parks. Uh, Today or yesterday was the first day that Rise of the Resistance did not require a virtual queue. And there was a lot of talking about that. And oh, goodness, how bad is it going to be? And it's going to be horrible. And its line ranged from 80 minutes at the beginning of the day down to about 40. So it actually ended up not bad. And I've been reading some of the forums and opinions, of course, are all over the place. Good evening, Video Bird. It's actually been really kind of funny because people are saying, oh, it's a terrible line. It's a horrible line. There's nobody in the parks. And what's it going to be like when it's busier? Honestly, an 80-minute line at the beginning of the day down to 40 for your brand new top seated attraction isn't bad at all. And as far as the crowds go, yes, they are lighter right now. But you have to remember, too, the parks don't have any character meet and greets. They don't have their shows and entertainment. They don't have all these other things that absorb the larger crowd. So really what you're seeing is probably a decent indicator of what the lines will be like when it does get crowded and we have all those other stuff going on. So, and try to keep my ring light from bouncing all over the place. No, not an earthquake. I am not in a state that does earthquakes. So, but it's really been interesting kind of watching the wait times online today and how people it wasn't anywhere near what they were expecting it to be. And I see a big question there, and so let me make sure I can read that. Hi, Chloe. Let's see. My happy spirit. That's why I needed the break. My happy spirit was starting to crash a little bit. Thanks for being such a ray of sunshine. You are very welcome. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you like that. Thank you for the encouragement. It really does mean a lot to me. So, and thank you. Wow, I'm getting all sorts of stuff here, guys. So, thank you, Kat. But yeah, the lines at Rise of the Resistance of the Disney parks have not been bad. And I think it's a good indicator, hopefully, of what it will be like when the crowds begin to pick up again. But they also open up all this other stuff again, and it becomes more normal. So, hello, Talking Mickey Project. Kevin and Melissa tonight. Give Emma a bad time. Her games are more important than me. No. By the way, for everybody watching, two things for me to request. One, you can see Talking Mickey Project's link there. go click on that link. Go subscribe to Emma's channel. She wants to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and she has done the most amazing interviews. You need to go check it out. Second, if you have not seen my interviews I posted this week with Ron Schneider, who was the original Dreamfinder and worked with Wally Bogue at the Golden Horseshoe Review and other things, you need to go do it. I'm looking at this and my viewer numbers are down. I'm like, guys, do you not know what's there? Go watch those videos. Most of you come in because you want behind the scenes stuff. Well, there's tons of it there. So go watch the videos with Ron Schneider. So, and yes, the high functioning autistic blew me away. It was actually, he mentions it in part of the interview that we had some technical difficulties and I couldn't put those in, but I wanted to bring that up because it was really cool. So yeah, so go check that out. Also, if you hear some really weird noises, there's a family that just came into the hotel room above me and they're making lots of weird noises and dragging chairs and other stuff. So that's what it is. Or you may hear the pool that's outside behind me. But yes, very cool interviews with Ron. Go watch them and go check out Emma's channel. Emma is an amazing person. She really is. So let's see, a couple other things that have come out. They are removing Primeval Whirl at Animal Kingdom. Yay! I know, it's terrible of me. No real indicator yet of what they're going to put into that area. If it's going to be just an empty spot or what it is. So we will have to still wait and see. But Primeval World, not only are the cars gone, but now they're removing the track too. So it is definitely gone for good. And that's cool with me. So hi, Beth. Good to have you. Let's see. Infinity Bird, Wacky World. Wonder what that one is. No, not Ron Schneider from Dukes of Hazzard, Michael. I know you're stuck on that. So, no, he's a good old boy, but not that kind of good old boy. So, but yes, Primeval World is gone. Oh, and I will tell you that Tuesday, I will have a video coming that will show you where I have been and highlight a special day that we did have. So very fun. I actually hint at it in the title here. A couple brand new coasters to me that were just amazing. Different types of coasters. Okay, I'll just spill it. Velocicoaster is a fantastic ride. It is amazing. It's fast. It's furious. It's what Fast and Furious should have been. And then Hagrid's is one you can ride over and over again. Oh my goodness, the effects and story on it. Amazing coasters. And you'll get to see more about that coming up on Tuesday. So look for that. Let's see, what else was it? Beth mentioned Russell T Davies coming back to Doctor Who. Yes! I saw that today and I sent it to my family. I'm like, yay, they're saving Who. So if you're a Doctor Who fan, you're probably very excited about that. Yes, I was very excited about that, Beth, when I saw it. So, yeah, very cool. Wonderworks, Videobird, go back to my channel homepage and in the search box, look for Wonderworks. I actually do a whole video on the one in Branson. So yes, we have been there. Hey, Tom got away from the hotel. So awesome. But Islands of Adventure is where we went Tuesday. So that should tell you which state I am in now. And we were very blessed. Had a couple people that blessed me with tickets and some extras. And the gentleman I was with actually, he had been there briefly, but not very much. And so really I got to show him the whole park. There were a little bit of a line for Hagrid's and Velocicoaster, but everything else is pretty much a walk-on. So it's almost like going back to 15 years ago. It was really nice to have the parks kind of back to the way they were. So we had a great time, really enjoyed it. And you'll get to see all that coming up Tuesday. I don't want to totally ruin it for you. Let's see, but started with Moffat, but Davies had really good stuff. Keep in mind, Moffat started under Davies. So really your first season or two of Moffat running Doctor Who were still really kind of Russell T Davies shows. So um, let's see here. Islands of Adventure. Wonder what state. Yeah. How are the characters? Did you see Maryland? Universal did actually have characters out. We were at Islands of Adventure, not Universal Studios, so Marilyn Monroe was not there. But they did actually have several different spots where the characters were out and interacting, but they would have a rope between, and you couldn't cross the rope. So the characters on one side and guests on the other. But other than that, they were almost doing a semi-normal meet and greet at Universal. It was interesting, to say the least. And I do have some video of that coming up Tuesday, so you'll get to see. But yeah, they had several of the characters out, which I was really surprised at. Who is that making faces in the window behind me? It can't be anybody behind me because I'm up on the 4th floor. So that's just a reflection of my head. See, if I do that, you can see it's... let's see. Okay, Jessica. Good to hear that you have another offer on the job. Have I been to Disneyland or World when they did Lost Character Week or what it was? I have been there when they had pulled old characters out, if that's what you mean. But I don't. When I was there, they didn't have anything called Lost Character Week. It wasn't a thing, and I think it was something they did temporarily. Now, Disneyland Paris did a deal when I was there where every day of the week they had a different set of unusual or rare characters come out before the parade and stuff. So Disneyland Paris did do that. That was cool. But I haven't seen it at Disneyland or Walt Disney World. At least not when I was there. So no, didn't do that. Let's see. Also, getting a chance to audition interview for the Polar Express ships on the Great Smoky Mountain. Oh, that would be very, very cool. Any tips on audition process? Keep in mind, when I did my jobs at the parks, I didn't necessarily audition. For Rhino Rally, we read a little portion of the script at the interview, and it was part of the interview. Same thing with Silver Dollar City. I gone into interview for the job on the roller coaster, and they said, well, have you thought about the train? Here, read this for us. And that's basically all I did is I read the script and, okay, let me add some personality to it. So I didn't have auditions per se. The best thing I can tell you with whatever you're going to be auditioning for, try to learn about the role ahead of time and come in prepared to do that and make it you. Have fun with it. That's about all I can tell you there. If they're already auditioning you for it, that's probably a pretty good sign. Unlike Disney, which gets very strict with the auditions, and most of the characters actually have to audition several times before they actually become who they're hoping to become friends with. So let me see. Have I seen Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway? Not yet. I have not been to Hollywood Studios since they opened it. So, nope, can't say I have seen it. Some point, maybe. I've heard generally good things. I still miss the Great Movie Ride, but maybe next year. Maybe. That's the hope. We do potentially have something planned for next year. I've mentioned a couple other live streams where after Memorial Day, I'm hoping, although I'll tell you, Rise of the Resistance is my real goal on that. Let's see. Read the book, seen the movies more times than I can count. Oh, thank you very much, Everyday Witch, for that. That is, wow. Thank you. I was not expecting that. That is a huge blessing. So I very much appreciate that. I'm humble. I love the little trophy too. That's really cute. So, but thank you. But no, we are, the plan right now is Memorial Day week of next year. We will be at Busch Gardens in Tampa for a couple days, and then we'll be moving over to Disney side. And the plan is to hit Rise of the Resistance, and of course, Great Movie, or Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I'm still going to call it Great Movie Ride. And so that is kind of the plan right now, to be able to do that and hopefully come back. And we've got a lot of other things on tap coming up. Oh my goodness. Okay, so right now, Columbus Day, the plan is to be at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom in California. Um, Assuming flights work out because I fly standby. So, and we're learning this is very tricky sometimes because the planes in and out of Springfield fill up. It's like, so trying to get seats there is interesting. But that is the plan right now. Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. Israel is looking very good. We are very optimistic that we will get to go November, December. And then we got all sorts of stuff we're talking for next year, including Australia and other things. So very, very neat. So keep an eye on the Facebook events page because there will constantly be stuff popping up there. And we're looking at Mall of America in Minnesota. We're looking at Six Flags Great America again. I'm going to have to do some passport stuff, so I'm going to be flying back and forth with that. Any luck with Japan? We are waiting on Japan. My daughter just got a full-time job, got her first apartment, has moved out. The hope is for March for her to go, and then I'm going to let her get settled first. Okay, so here's how crazy we're being, because I can fly standby. What we're hoping to actually do is when she eventually does get the opening to go to Japan, I'm going to hopefully fly standby on the same plane, fly over with her, get her through customs, and then turn around and fly back. Yeah, I know, totally nuts. But if there's empty seats, I can do it. And then after she gets settled and established in Japan a little bit, then we will plan a Japan trip, hopefully, where we can work in Disney and some other stuff like that. That's the plan. Of course, the last 2 years of COVID, who knows how plans are going to work. But that is hoped. Australia, we are definitely working on that. So, and again, all these things are open to COVID things. And then Amsterdam, also looking, if we go to Israel, we're going to have 10 hours in Amsterdam at the airport there. So we will be in and out of the city. But I'm also looking at taking a return trip next spring or summer. My family roots are from there, and I've also got a possible invitation to Efteling, the theme park. And so I'm hoping to be able to do that next year as well. And all of this is going to be like super tight budget. So I'm excited. The airfare is a huge obstacle, and then ways that we can work on the other stuff, we will. But yeah, you're going to see a lot of park vlogs and stuff, and I don't know what they're doing up there. So, but that's kind of what's happening with all that. Let's see. Group of princesses by the castle, too shy to go up to them. Cinderella kneel down to get. Yes, the princesses are awesome. I love stories like that with the princesses. So, let's see. Good place to eat nearest to Busch Gardens. Fred's Market Restaurant. I've actually eaten at Fred's. It's been a long time ago, but Peyton Crumb, what does she do? Not sure. Oh, my daughter. She's working at the college that she graduated from. I don't know if she wants me to say what she actually is doing full time or not, so I don't want to spill that. So, or too much other. Valley Fair, Michigan's Adventure. So here's what I'm looking at, Parker and others. I have a membership pass to Six Flags right now. For me to get one for Cedar Fair parks, which is Valley Fair, Michigan Adventure, Dorney, and those, Knott's Berry Farm, California Great America, it's like $250, I believe. So I am looking at trying to save that up over Christmas, and then come like March as they start to reopen again, hopefully buy a pass for those, and then I can start visiting some of those parks. And probably buy the pass to Worlds of Fun because that's the closest one to me, and then seeing if we can't start adding some of those on. So right now, those are a possibility. I don't want to say absolutely yes, but yeah, we're definitely looking at that and seeing if we can make it happen. So yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Fantastic interviews with Ron Schneider. I agree. We barely scratched the surface too. There was so much more I wanted to talk about, and we've actually talked because I now know where he lives and I have a way to get to him. And so we're actually talking about the possibility of me going down, treating him for dinner, and then doing an in-person deal. So we would love to do that. But guys, if you want to see more with Ron Schneider, go watch the video, like it, comment it, both of them, promo them, share them. For some reason, they're not getting a lot of views. I'm going, you don't know what you're missing. So please push those out there a bit, and let people know about them, because they're amazing interviews. I know I didn't get time to edit them very much like I usually would, but that's because I was getting ready to come on this trip, and I didn't have time. It's like, push them out there or let them sit forever. So, but yeah, please go like and share those things, because I'd love to do more. Let's see. We were in Walt Disney World, went on the ride Star Wars: The Adventure Continues. That must be Star Tours. Okay. Um, do I like not scary farm mazes? I don't do haunted mazes. In fact, if you watch my Fiesta Texas video, you see I'm kind of walking around and avoiding the stuff. I am not a haunt person, a scare fest, or any of that. I like Mickey's Not So Scary. I am going to be at Silver Dollar City this coming Thursday for their Pumpkin Nights, and I will feature that because it's family friendly. But if it's the scare stuff or the gory stuff or the adult stuff, that's not my thing. So I know some people love them. It's just not me. Have I ever visited Cedar Point in Sandusky? Oh, Jessica, you have missed the whole history of Cedar Point. Okay, so here's what you do. You go to my channel homepage on a computer. Look in the search bar on the right side, not the main YouTube search, but the one for just my channel, and type in Cedar Point. And you're going to see the string of videos, and I have had some very interesting comments from people about one of them, and you'll see why when you get there. I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's a history with Cedar Point. So, had to watch the further adventures of Walt's Frozen Head. Yes, it is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So is Ron's podcast. Ron does some amazing, oh my goodness. I actually stole a couple of questions from Ron's podcast, Ron's Wild Rides, and brought it into mine because they talk some great stuff. So yes, check the interviews, check Ron's videos, check Emma's interview with him as well. Let's see here. So after Pumpkin Nights, is it Pie Night? It was Christmas. Am I looking forward to Muppet Haunted Mansion? I don't know. I've only heard a couple little things about it, and honestly, I haven't looked at it enough to know if it's real and legit or not. I just haven't had time to look it up. It was kind of like the Muppets taking over Haunted Mansion. I love the Muppets. I'm not sure that's where I would put them. I'm kind of like, yeah. The Muppets need more. They do, but like I said, that's not what I would have thought. Let's see. When you said, I don't do rated R haunted houses, reminds me of when you say, people ask me where the kiddie area is. Oh, no, see, when we went to Fiesta, Texas, we knew where the scare zones were. We knew where the houses were, so we could avoid them. And I actually talk in the Fiesta, Texas videos about how we walked around them. There's a couple times we walked past the scare zones, but we made it pretty clear walking on the outside edge that we weren't into that. And I was actually watching just to make sure nobody tried to get me anyways. They didn't. The only one that got any sort of jump scare at Fiesta, Texas was Brendan. And it wasn't even the scare zones. It was actually walking through the entrance to the Joker ride, the villain's ride. Yeah, there you go. And there was one spot in there that gave him a good jump scare. But no, never been into that kind of stuff. So let's see. Oh, Disney Plus. I will have to look at that then. I have not seen that. Let's see. Put the Muppets on the but no, I'll have to take a look. Maybe I'll download it tonight then, if it's on Disney Plus, because I'm flying early in the morning tomorrow, and something to watch would be nice. I got a good book to read too, but yeah, that might work. I'll have to take a look. So, but yeah, it's going to be a busy year and an exciting year. So if you haven't seen it already, because some of the people are talking, well, are you going to go here? Are you going to go there? If you go over to my Facebook fan page, there is already a discussion going there about where I should go and how to make it work. So definitely go over there, take a look at the thread, see what's already being discussed and where I'm going to go. And if you got ideas, and especially if you have ideas and ways to help make them possible, that would be amazing. I can work out plane flights. I can get there. But once I get there, keep in mind, we're living off a teacher salary and an unpaid pastor salary, which means I don't get money. And we know we've got a year transition coming up, so we're trying not to spend anything. So rides to and from the airport and ways into the parks and stuff like that are all amazing helps. And if we can do things like flying in early in the morning and then find a way to fly out late at night or early the next morning, stuff like that is what we're looking at doing. Just crazy stuff like flying into JFK Airport in the morning, going down to Coney Island, then flying back out on a midnight flight or something. Yeah, I'm telling you, we're looking crazy, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So going to do some neat stuff. Am I a fan of El Torian and the Coaster Idiots? I actually don't know them at all, Parker. Send me a link, definitely. Ryan Curry, go to Silver Dollar City. I've never heard of this place. Where is Silver Dollar City at? Let's see. I could, okay, Parker, send me the link. Definitely. So, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be weird here. Did I ever see any of the Disney on Ice shows? No, I actually never did. I've seen video clips. I've never actually seen the on ice shows. Wanted to go, but they were too expensive, and my parents didn't want to spend the money, didn't have the money to spend. So nope, never did. Hello, Barefoot. Good to have you. Yeah, Craig, I know. Didn't expect to see a lot. I realized 2 days ago, oh my goodness, I haven't done a live stream this month. And I won't be able to do one. I better do one. So that's why the unexpected live stream. Sorry, Craig, to drop it on you. Surprise! Do I think Silver Dollar City would benefit from a land like Wildwood Grove at Dollywood? There's a lot of things I could think that Silver Dollar City could use, and that's a long list. Let me just say it this way. In the 10 years I have lived in Missouri, Dollywood has about doubled in size, and Silver Dollar City hasn't. They're run by the same company. They're both amazing parks, but you can definitely see which one is getting a lot more investment. Silver Dollar City's added some great stuff, but nowhere near as much as Dollywood has. And I'd like to see it get a little more attention. Let's just say that. I think that's a good way to put it, because Silver Dollar City does have a lot of land it could develop. If you go from where the Barn Swing and Outlaw Run is, where the train kind of goes out into the woods, that's all owned by Silver Dollar City. They could easily add a huge expansion going out into the woods. There's a couple other places that they could do different things. They've talked about various ideas and plans. There's options there. They just haven't done it. And I'd like to see them do it. I'd like to see them put some love in there. So let's see here. And Tom, yes, it will be on replay. You can definitely catch it later. Anyone who wants to see Ron and the Golden Horseshoe review, there's a video on YouTube of his final show in '82. Very cool. And it does the Ricky the Duck. Okay, now if you don't know what the Ricky the Duck routine is, you need to go watch my interview with him. Let's see here. SCC can use a good SirWillow train harbor. Yeah, insurance isn't going to allow that. We did, after I did the train video, we did talk about the possibility of me going out and guest robbing for a day. And unfortunately, corporate and insurance and liability won't happen. Wish it would, but not going to work. Let's see here. Good video talking about how I would expand Silver Dollar City. The reason why I won't do a video, one, because some of the stuff that I would talk about, some of my ideas would come from things that I've heard in the park and from the park, and I don't know which they're going to do and which they aren't, and I don't want to run the risk of violating non-disclosure agreements. So that's part of it. I don't even want to hint at some of the stuff that might be there because it may or may not happen. The other thing that could potentially run into a deal, and I want to be careful on this, is when I would start talking about what I want to do and what I would change, it could be very easy for me to slip into being critical of things that don't need to be criticized, if that makes sense. And I like my relationship with the park, and so I don't want to do that. I'll say things I don't like if there's things I don't like. I have no problem being honest there, but at the same time, I don't want to do anything and like throw them under the bus, if that makes sense. So that's kind of why I'm hesitant on there. Disney is much easier because it's so much broader and bigger that it's easier to get away with. Have I eaten at Chefs de France in Epcot? Yes, I have. It was pretty good. It was a long time ago. It was when they had the little Remy figure. It was neat, but not my favorite, but not bad by any means. Let's see. Any of the parks I've worked, are there any haunted locations within them? Ooh. Okay, let me come back to that in just a second, Jarrell, because Everyday Witch is like spoiling me here. Do you think you would be able to do something like a fireside chat and tell the Christmas story around the holiday season? I would probably do it on my Burning Bush channel, which is the one that I share more of my preaching and Christian thoughts and stuff like that, because it would fit better there than on here. So I think that would probably be more appropriate. But I can definitely mention on this channel, hey, by the way, if you want to see me do it, I could definitely do it over there. I think I like that idea. If you could send me a note, either through my Facebook Messenger or through SirWillow@gmail.com, send me a note to remind me, because as soon as I turn this off, I'm going to bed. I will forget. But I like to do that. So yeah, definitely let me know. Any parts of their haunted locations with them? Okay, so Jessica, at the risk of running that same thing here too, let me just say I don't believe in ghosts. And there are stories at every park of stuff is haunted, and I don't believe in ghosts. So, and I could go into that more about why I don't and what I think it is and stuff like that, but it can very quickly turn into a whole religious thing, and I don't want to do that. So, but yeah, some people think so. I don't. There. Let's see. Sir, if SirWillow lets something slip about SCC, they will send the train robbers after me. No, I get them myself. Like Living Characters Initiative with Remy, yes. I liked stuff like that. It was great to have all those little interactive things. So, Tony's Town Square, any good? I only ate there once. It was okay. I wasn't real impressed. And that was, goodness, back in like 2008. Something, so even then it wouldn't apply. Oh my goodness, Emma. Thanks for doing the live stream tonight. It was really great to catch up and chat with everyone. Travel safely and have fun. Thank you so much, Emma, Melissa, and Kevin. It was awesome to meet you guys in San Antonio as well, and you're spoiling me. I definitely want to get back to San Antonio again. I owe Emma some coaster rides. I told her I would, so we definitely gotta do that. But thank you. Yeah, you guys are spoiling me tonight here with all this super chat stuff. There's a video on it on the Burning Bush channel, isn't there? On ghosts? I don't remember if I've done one on Burning Bush about ghosts or not. Now, I do kind of hint at it some. If you go see the video on Burning Bush on why I don't watch Coco and Princess and the Frog, I do talk about some of that. So, sort of. I guess that's a good way to put that. So, let me see here. Grinning ghosts and most. Okay, anyways. Sorry, Craig. You maybe start thinking of songs. Let's see here. Oh, you were ecstatic to see. Okay, so Strachik, did I meet you there at San Antonio? I'm really curious now because I had the one employee that hung around with us, Brian, who was amazing. No, didn't meet. Okay, and then I ran into somebody at San Antonio, and I didn't get her name. And I posted. If you look at the thumbnail, you can see her. But I ran into her at the Alamo of all places, and it was just really cool. But I definitely want to get back again. Fiesta Texas was amazing, but there's also SeaWorld there and Schlitterbahn and a couple other things. So definitely want to get back and catch some of that. What made me come to San Antonio though? Well, you see, I got this amazing deal where I could start flying around cheap, and I had a Six Flags membership, and it was an easy one to plan quickly as a first deal to, hey, let's try this out and see how it works. I had a free hotel room and everything, and so yeah, it just worked great. It's a place I wanted to go for years, so I was happy to be able to do it finally. So yeah, that's why. And Jacob, thank you. Thanks for starting the Designing the Theme Park series. I definitely got to come back to that too. I do have my next one on tap for my, oh gosh, what did I call it? I said Worlds of Adventure. It's not Worlds of Adventure. But yes, you actually, you had suggested, but so had several others. And it was just one that, okay, there's been enough requests for this. I got to do it. And I definitely need to come back. I'm hoping if I don't do the next one this week, it should be the week after, where I can then start talking about why I don't have Tomorrowland in my castle park and where it's going to go along with what else is there. So that's definitely on tap there. So look for it to come up soon, very soon. But yes, thank you for the idea too. And let me know if you guys have ideas and suggestions and comments and stuff you want me to talk about. Please tell me. Comments below in the videos. Send me messages through Facebook on the fan page. Send me emails at SirWillow@gmail. There's also a link to my ideas board, so you can post comments and suggestions there, and even vote on ones that are already there too. So that helps. Hope we can visit Cedar Point again in the future. I hope so. My whole Parker, don't forget ideas boards. Yeah, there you go. My goal with this, since I've got the opportunity to travel, is trying to hit as many places that I have not been to as possible. I did actually have somebody challenge me to try to hit all the Six Flags parks. So maybe, but we'll see. A lot of it too, I have to keep my wife happy. And my wife doesn't like me being away from home for some reason. I don't know what the deal is with that. You'd think she liked me or something. So we're going to try and do everything that we can and see what we can work out. But am I excited for Israel? Oh, yeah. Yes. Hoping it works. Praying it works. Let me see. Kind of trying to go back. Let's see. Was there ever a derailment there? So Jessica, I actually talked about a couple of the derailments we had too. So challenge me to sing one song from Princess of the Frog, or just name one. I couldn't. There was a couple, but I haven't seen the movie, so I couldn't tell you offhand. What are my thoughts on Epcot's Remy ride recycling the French audio from Paris? Really? Did they? I didn't know they did that. I thought it was really cool when I wrote it in France. I loved how it went back and forth between French and English and French and English. The ride is a copy of the French ride, so that doesn't surprise me. Why would they redo all the audio when they can just import the whole thing? If you wanted to feel like France, you should hear some French. So I don't personally have, I have a lot of issues with Disney and the way it nickels and dimes and stuff. That's not one I have an issue with. I like the French soundtrack. It helped remind me I was in France. And if Remy's Adventure is in the French pavilion, you should feel like you're in France. So I'm okay with that. And I know not everybody will agree with me, but that's okay. Let's see. Do all theme park job interviews always involve a panel of 6 people? No. With expressionless faces, just happened to me at Universal Orlando. Oh my goodness. Now, Disney does have a practice of doing group interviews of 3 to 5 people at a time sometimes. It's partially to see how well you interact with other people. And if you got somebody who just sits there stiff and expressionless, they're not going to be as keen versus somebody who's smiling and involved and enthusiastic. So it is a way to test, but not all theme parks do. Busch Gardens, I didn't do that. Silver Dollar City, I didn't do that. Um, Disney, I sort of did. I had a brief thing with several people, and then I had a private interview as well. So, but when I interviewed at the Disney store, way back when, there's one I haven't talked about. That's a video I ought to do. Somebody send me a note. Remind me to talk about my time at the Disney store. But that was a group interview. So, but yeah, somebody send me a note. Quick, drop me an email. So, good evening, Patrick. Good to have you with us. Let's see. I'm just trying to get through because I'm already way behind. In the Canadian Pavilion, they should also speak Canadian, eh? I don't know, Richard. You might have people just totally confused and go, "Why don't you speak English?" Okay. Oh, that was obnoxious of me. But and okay, so Craig is sending me a note here. Yeah, thanks, Craig. But Canada's literally both English and French. It depends upon where in Canada you are, Joseph. The French part of Canada is Quebec, and that is basically the eastern side and a little bit of the north. Most of the rest of Canada doesn't speak French. So you won't notice that. In fact, there's reasons why Quebec has, for many years, there's been a strong movement to we should be independent. And they kind of sort of are in some ways. Yeah. So you go to Toronto or Vancouver, no French. Although Richard could tell you more about the Toronto area because he's not too far off there. So let's see. Don't you think it's ridiculous for somebody to spend the thousands to go to Walt Disney World and not be guaranteed to ride every ride? You can't do that, Joel. There is no park anywhere that can guarantee you're going to ride every ride because there's these things called mechanical issues and weather issues. And now I think it is ridiculous for somebody to spend thousands of dollars and not be prepared for the crowds and other stuff. And I saw that all the time. But there isn't a park out there that can make a guarantee like that. And especially depending upon when you visit. Now, when we went to Islands of Adventure Tuesday, we did everything. We rode everything because we picked a day when there weren't crowds. But if you pick a day when there's crowds, that's just the way it is. So, and Disney is just hugely popular right now. You're not going to get the crowds at Disney. There isn't an off season. There sort of is right now because there's no world tours coming in, but it's just always crowded. So no, you can't. Imagine Cedar Point trying to make a guarantee like that. And if you know how many rides Cedar Point has, there's no way anybody can ride all of them in one day or 2 days, maybe not even in 3 days. So yeah, it's just not. It's not practical. And then you get one ride that breaks down for a couple of days, and ooh, that's going to get ugly. So why don't you speak American? You know, my wife has students that come to her and say, "Are you going to teach us to speak Mexican?" I'm serious. They don't know. They think they're talking about Mexican, not Spanish. And okay. And thank you, Craig. Yes, Craig reading my mind, doing what I say. Let's see. Let's see. Quebec's gorgeous if anyone gets a chance. I want to go to Quebec. Really bad. Really bad. I don't. Okay. There's also French spoken in Montreal. Montreal is in Quebec, Kathy. So, yep. Let's see. There's one. Once Camden Park in West Virginia. Let's see. Oh, Kathy caught the Quebec. Let's see. See, I'm broken up about things. Yeah, I know. it life is life. Just wondering, in Silver Dollar City, how many people would play the old man telling the Christmas story on the train ride? Okay, so you're talking about Grandpa out in the woods. Generally speaking, we would have two grandpas at a time, and they would alternate. So one would be on the chair telling the story, the other one would actually be inside the brake shack, the robber shack, and they actually had the light control panel. So if you've ever seen the show where Grandpa's telling the Christmas story and you've got all the lights that come on at certain cues and then switch off, there's actually a person sitting there that's flipping all of those on and off. And then they would trade off. So Grandpa would tell the story 2 or 3 times, and then the other one would switch out and do it. That way, especially when it was really cold, you didn't have somebody sitting out there for hours in the biting cold. They could go in and warm up and stuff. So typically 2. We would often have a backup grandpa. So in case somebody got sick, then we had somebody to back up and fill in that role. And I actually, at one point, they asked me to try out for it. I wasn't a good grandpa. I was like, that's not my reading style. You know, now I have to sit there and I might be able to do it a little better. You know, back in the day when we were sitting around the tree. I don't know. So, let's see. How to name Canada. That's actually kind of funny. By the way, if you're wondering what I'm looking at, my laptop's down here so I can actually see what y'all say, because it goes so fast on my phone. It's already, aren't I already a grandpa? No, my kids are not married, and there's, right now, honestly, there's no prospect of grandchildren. Okay. Oh, did I say your name by accident, Joel? Sorry about that on the Disney thing. Yeah, like I said, trying to read stuff at a distance makes it so. Sorry. Oops. Themed lighting isn't just magic. No. Did any of the conductors robbers work as grandpa? Yes, I think Rick did grandpa a couple times. There were a couple of us that were set up as backup grandpas in case grandpa got sick. And then I believe Huff has done it as well. Huff has been robbing for a couple years. He does a lot of solo shows. I think he's done grandpa. I'm not positive. Generally, though, the grandpas came from outside. But it has changed so much. One of the guys, the one who most people knew as grandpa was Mike Hughes. And Mike passed away a year and a half ago. The other one that a lot of people knew was JW, and he moved down to Texas a few years ago. So it's been kind of a rotating thing of other grandpas that I don't know. So it's changed a bit. So one of my newest shorts, and you kept getting interrupted. It looked like you were going to drop some Oh, so there's a couple people out there that are like, I can't wait to see you cuss. And I don't. Even when I get mad, I really don't. When I do, it's usually because I get tongue-tied. And the one time I notably did at Silver Dollar City, it was purely accidental. I was standing in front of the train and somebody had asked me about the flooded mine. And the flooded mine is a floating boat ride where you grab your gun and you shoot at the targets and try to get the best score you can. And that's kind of my standard spiel. Well, I told him, well, you go sit down in the boat and you shoot at the targets, except I didn't say shoot. And it was just like, oh, I'm sorry, didn't mean it. And the guests started cracking up. And thank goodness. And he looks at me and says, well, at least it's not like you're a preacher or anything. Well, that was really awkward. But yeah, generally I don't. I have variations of it. So flipping. Thought Islands of Adventure was just roller coasters. Oh my god, no. Okay. Islands of Adventure, honestly, I think is probably the best actual theme park out there. It is amazingly developed. My only criticism of the park is if you're there on a slow day, there isn't as much to do. And we did rewrites on a lot of things when we were there Tuesday. Because if you're there on a slow day, you can do the whole thing in half a day. Uh, the theming in it is amazing. They outdid Disney. Easy. It is an amazing, amazing park. Let's see here. Wow, I'm getting all sorts of stuff. Let's see. When you visit the Holy Land, is touristy or is it more biblical? It depends upon what you're doing. Yes. There are tours that take you to a lot of the historical sites, the archaeological sites, and things like that. But there's also just as much other cheap tourist stuff to do as well. There, for some of the places, it's based on tradition and rumors and stuff. So, like Golgotha, there's a couple different possibilities of it. The truth is, they don't know for sure where he was crucified and buried. So these are possibilities. And that's true of a couple of the spots there. They rely on traditions that date from about 600, 700 AD. Well, that's a few hundred years after the fact. So some of it's trying to figure it out. Some of it's giving you a feel for it. Some of it's real and legit. So it greatly depends. I rewatched the bloopers of you and the kid in the car horn. Oh, yeah, that was pretty funny. I thought it was hilarious. So, what's missing from this live stream is the cat at his feet. Yeah. You guys are like way ahead of me. Let's see. Preparation for my start on November 15th. What would you say was your hardest day in training as a conductor? First one. I would almost actually, when I'm trying to get the script down and I have to pass the test, because I can't conduct by myself until I do it. And it's just awkward having to spiel one-on-one instead of in front of people for me. I'm much more comfortable being able to spiel to the whole train and not have somebody staring at you like that. That was the hardest part for me. Once I got it, yeah, hey, get off my train. Let me do it. So let's see. Never got interested in watching Jurassic Park. It was Islands of Adventure, despite the fact my dad. Nothing's wrong with you. Not everybody's into that. That's okay. So, let's see. Not just coasters, Islands of Adventure. Lots of gift shops, dining options, lots of other stuff. Seuss Island is one of our favorite spots in the park. Love it. Carousel was closed this last time. I was bummed. It's got a couple amazing water rides. Spider-Man still is one of the best rides at any theme park out there. It's just got, Islands of Adventure has a ton of stuff. And it's done well. Kong is fantastic. Especially the drivers, especially when you realize the drivers are all individuals, all have their own stories, and they're all animatronics. It's really cool. So, let's see. Pretty sure Islands of Adventure is when they let Joe Rody go crazy with Avatar. Yeah, well, when they opened up Harry Potter, that was kind of the wake-up call to Disney that, oh, we've been coasting on our rumps for a while. Harry Potter, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter was really the wake-up call to Disney. And it was overdue. Going to be fun when Universal gets Epic Universe open. Yes, I think you'll finally have another park that will compete with it there. Let's see. We are rolling here. Planning on going to Universal next year. Tomorrow, Cedar Point for Halloween weekends with fast passes, so no sleep tonight. I'm not going to sleep tonight either. Either? Yeah, neither. Plane leaves at like 6 in the morning, so it's going to be a long night. And I still got to talk to my friend here and make sure we got that all coordinated. So, let's see. As a passenger, was the funniest thing you saw from the robbers on the first? Way too many to count. Look up several of my videos on the pranks and the funny moments and all that. There's just so many. There is no such thing as one. That's like asking you, what was your favorite moment in the last 5 years? There's just too many. So, as a let's see. You guys coming to San Diego soon? Maybe. My sister lives in that area. She would like me to come. It would be just me. She wants me to come before I go to Israel. My wife is kind of going, another trip. So I don't know. I would like to. And his family there, I don't know for sure. If we do, it may be like San Diego Zoo or something, but it would be first or second week in November, I think. But look for it on the calendar if it happens. So I'm not sure. Being a wrestling fan, I know it's hard for New Japan Pro Wrestling to get the wrestlers to shows in Japan. Haha, I even knew what that was. I'm an old school wrestling fan. I don't watch the new stuff for the most part. Want some butterbeer? Butterbeer is good. Oh my goodness. Craig, what is your favorite? Here's my favorite for you, Craig. You know, all of what many consider. What about SeaWorld? I like SeaWorld. Honestly, if I go to San Diego, here's the deal. I'm with my sister. I'm kind of at my sister's mercy and doing what she wants, especially since she's the one who'd be spending the money. So if my sister wants to go to the zoo, we go to the zoo. If she wants to go to SeaWorld, we go to SeaWorld. If we want to cruise around the military base, we'll cruise around the military base. We'll do whatever my sister wants. When I go to Sacramento in October, like I said, Discovery Kingdom and Vallejo is on track. We are planning a day at the train museum. My dad was already really excited about that. So we will be doing that. You'll see videos of both of those, hopefully. But yeah. Flying at 6 a.m.? Oh, no, see, yeah. Sure, John. Well, at least it's not 5 this time, but... those of you who don't know, Jay Cadle is a pilot. So, yeah. he has to be up earlier than me for stuff like that. Let's see. Oh, goodness. Did SCC ever have any diesels? Yes and no. So they have one engine right now called a switch engine, that it is just a pure diesel engine. And they use it basically for laying down rails and hauling things out to the tracks. It's not a passenger engine. Their other engines, they're all steam engines. They were all originally coal-fired. And what they've done is they changed the burners on them. So instead of having to shovel coal, they all use diesel fuel to heat the water up in the boilers. So they are all diesel-fired steam engines. So yes, they don't run coal. Now, if you go to Dollywood, they still shovel coal out there for those things. And you can see it in the soot it blows everywhere. But yeah, so they're steam engines, but they're diesel fired. So, they'll tell you the diesel oil, but same thing. Let's see here. If you decide to come and ride the skunk train, one of these days. If you're a wrestling fan, make sure to watch AEW Rampage. Like I said, I generally don't watch the new wrestling for multiple reasons. When I talk old school, I mean, I'm talking like 70s, 80s, early 90s. Is when WCW died, that was kind of when my interest died. So I'm an old school NWA fan. So there you go. Let's see. Metdale Disneyland. I was talking to a cast member and they blurted out Chip, and luckily I caught myself and remembered the names before I went up to meet him. Yeah, that would be embarrassing. So why do I get the feeling that because of your experience with Silver Dollar City and your love of trains has made me rekindle my love for Thomas the Tank Engine? Okay, so go back and watch the Kennywood video. I've got Thomas on there for you. That was actually really neat to see the way they had essentially reskinned the whole area and made it Thomas. That was fun. And of course, we did the Branson Railroad. I'm trying to add a few more train things as I can get the opportunity to do them. So make it more fun that way. But, oh my goodness. It is 9 o'clock here, just about. I got an early flight, so let's see. If this thing leaves at 6, that means I probably got to be there about 4:30, 4:45. Time to get there. That means I got to be getting up at like 3:30. So, it has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much to everybody who has given. Don't forget to use the idea boards to submit ideas, or jump over to the Facebook page, which is facebook.com/the SirWillow. And the events will show you where I'm going to be, but you can send me messages that way with ideas and suggestions and discussion and stuff like that too. So take advantage of that. Please go watch the interviews with Ron Schneider. Share those interviews, like them, comment on them. Honestly, they were some of my favorite things I've done. I'd love to do more like that, but to make it happen, I've got to show the views and stuff and let them go, yeah, this was worth it. So please definitely hit that. I would really appreciate that. Yeah, don't let my arms get tired. Oh, I'm hoping just to get a seat. So, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in tonight for kind of an unplanned, spontaneous thing. I really appreciate it. So, thank you so very much. Have an awesome night, everybody, and we will catch you soon. Have a great one.